Interesting. The first place I feel is actually the throat. We oftentimes don't necessarily, and it's clearing some energy from my throat chakra. When you cough like that, when you start doing energy work, it's oftentimes energy clearing that's happening. Spirit, I'm already getting chills. Woo! All right, and there we go. There's the third eye chakra taking off. I'm actually feeling a little bit of swaying action coming into my body, which means that my vibration energetically is altering in entrainment with the energy that's coming in from this crystal and what it's activating. So it's interesting because I then just saw this rush of water and then circling of water into stars, almost kind of like that Van Gogh or Van Gogh, I guess is how you pronounce it, painting those spinning stars. And then I'm seeing how this connects with the lapis, just even in terms of its beautiful mineralogy, because it's got those golden flakes in it with that deep, dark night sky blue. And so what I'm getting is that lapis connects us with the emotional body, with the unconscious, the collective unconscious, archetypal connection to gods and deities. I'm now seeing hieroglyphs, gods and deities, and I'm seeing a particular hieroglyph. It almost looks like a pharaoh with a third eye symbol. I don't know if that exists in real life anywhere, but connecting to them through archetypes, through symbology, through that level of conversation, because it's saying that symbols connect us to the collective unconscious, and symbols connect us to the deep dark wells that are inside of us, our own inner collective, our own inner unconscious realms that we tend not to dwell in on a daily basis because we're busy and we're doing and we're whatever, but the deeper, darker aspects of ourselves that don't relate to shadow, interestingly enough, don't necessarily relate to shadow, but relate to our own hidden mysteries, the hidden mysteries that are in our ancestry, our soul ancestry, how our feelings connect us to real, authentic parts of ourselves, especially in terms of past life history. There's this message about how many of us are afraid to feel right now because we feel so overwhelmed. We feel so numbed out. There's a sense of safety with superficial feelings, but not going really deep, dark down into the belly of ourselves. And again, there's this thing about ancient mysteries and mastery, connecting through our own ancestral lineages in terms of power, in terms of mythological teachings, as opposed to whatever's being presented to us in the modern mainstream, the new age. They're saying there's been a disconnect and a reconnect, which is interesting because I feel like that came up in the Carnelian channeling last week. But there's a disconnect and a reconnect that needs to happen in terms of reclaiming our own ancestral lineages and the power and the teachings and the mastery and the mythology that comes from those ancestral teachings, but really connecting back through the lines of our people, because they're saying that there's mysteries and masteries and magic in, that's locked in our DNA that can be accessed, and it's accessed primarily, again, through the feeling body, through the unconscious or the subconscious, and it's saying that the most powerful way to work with Lapis to connect with this and to unlock this, because it's saying there's this mass movement towards humanity reclaiming its power in deference or in respect to the natural world, the planet from which we come, that that we're living on, but also for those that feel more star aligned, about reconnecting and reclaiming with this power so that we can come back into an empowered place. Because we may feel that we're in power because we're sort of the human race is rather dominating the planet right now, but we're actually in the majority of us are not in our power. And so it's about coming back into our power through this way. And what it's saying is that the most powerful way to work with lapis is either to work with it, holding it in meditation the way, I am right now in terms of this channeling. I'm feeling massive heat come off my hands. I'm wondering if my face is flushing as well. Working with it and just breathing in a mindful place and allowing yourself to drop more deeply into your consciousness, to reconnect with your own essence and your own inner self and your own mystical self. It's saying it's safe for us to reconnect with our mysticism in a very internal, very deep, very organic way that's within ourselves, that's sort of locked within ourselves, and also our spirit selves. But working with it in that way, or also laying down and placing it on the third eye. And it's saying, even if you pass out and fall asleep with it on your third eye chakra, you're actually really deepening the work, because you're allowing yourself energetically to go down into that level of subconscious and unconscious. Another thing that it's showing me is it's showing me that for people who want to connect more powerfully with ancestral lineage, with ancient selves in terms of past life reclamation, is the words that coming through, but then also connecting with deities. For those of you who connect with the essence and the consciousness and sovereignty, divine sovereignty, not sovereignty over us, but divine sovereignty that's held within their own essence, particular deities, that you can also place it at the top of your head, just above your head, where our crown chakra resides. And it's also showing me in particular this wand, or like more of a pointed formation, a polished shape, pointed formation that will allow your spirit to kind of move up into that star state. Once again, I'm seeing that beautiful dark blue, with the stars, connecting to that star state, connecting with deities and knowledge and archetype and symbolism on that level. They're saying one of the easiest ways to connect it with a deity or a spirit that's true to your heart is to have a sacred symbol that you draw, and you draw that symbol and it immediately calls in that presence. And it reminds me, because I'm a pop culture girl, I see the Batman sign, I'm like, oh wow, that's really cool, okay. But just, and it doesn't have to be one that you find somewhere. It's one that you can just sit, hold lapis in your receptive hand, your non-dominant hand, so that you can draw with your dominant hand, and just focus on a particular deity, to focus on a spirit guide, guardian, whom you love, whom you believe in, who you feel is guiding you in a really high positive way, and just draw a symbol. You can doodle, or it may be an archetypal symbol known to humanity that will come through, and draw that symbol, and then whenever you feel the need to have that presence with you, it could be in the middle of an exam, it could be, wherever you are, you can draw the symbol. I'm also seeing that for some of you, this may be a sacred tattoo that you wear on your body, which is also such a beautiful blessing. And the final thing before we go here is a reminder that I think is really sweet and very nice, and it's saying it's natural, which is that you are all the stars. We are all the stars in that night sky. We are all shining brightly. I'm getting massive, massive chills here. You are the magic. You are the mystery. And working with allies like crystal allies, deities, sacred tools, whatever it is that you work with, remember that it's not that thing or that deity or that whatever that has the power. It is you, and it is connecting you with your own channel of magic, mastery, mysticism, power, and sovereignty. And please always allow that to be part of your spiritual journey. Massive chills. I want to cry. It's so sweet. And so that's it. I'm coming back out of that. That ended with a roar, and I thought just such a beautiful message, especially in the end there. So yeah, if you don't have a piece of lapis, run out and get one. No, I do not sell crystals. I feel that would put me in a position of conflict of interest, but certainly what a magical and mystical stone of power and ancestry that's really, really coming back into our relationship and work with crystals right now. So that's the channeling. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone who joined. I'm waving back, and I will be back here next week, same time, same place.